Hearthstone? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you're right. Well, the one without cards.
Enough about Hearthstone. Let's get right into the match. Frozen and Strongbad versus Max and Lunchables. Max, of course, being Umbreon. Did he and Lunchables come out on top against Infinity and Luck?
Yes.
Wow, okay. Because I remember watching Game 1, and it looked definitely in favor of Infinity and Luck. What were, I guess, some of the changes that made it so that the next games were so drastically different?
They won. Okay, so Umbreon and Luck won. Umbreon and Lunchables won Game 1. And they lost the next 2 games. Umbreon switched to Sheik Game 3, and that didn't really work. The Sheik Roy team didn't work. But then the Sheik Toon Link team that they had for Games 4 and 5 really just kind of dominated.
Ah.
So it was mostly the Toon Link switch.
Yeah,
so I'm surprised he's starting with Roy in this, it looks like, for this game.
Yeah, it's just a hand warmer. But yeah, you know, whenever they start resetting. Yeah, and that's a really good point, too. I think that at the end you mentioned that it was the Sheik Toon Link that did it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of intriguing, but I guess they wanted to have that extra projectile presence that Toon Link kind of offers you. But overall, right now, what do you think the dynamic between these two teams is going to be? Who's going to be the aggressor? Who's going to be more, I guess,
Roy
in the background?
And from the Lunchables Umbreon team is definitely going to be the aggressor because Roy's an aggressive character and Sheik is naturally a support character. From blue team, I'm not really sure. I feel like Wario can go in more safely and Mewtwo's got good support because he's got such long range and good long range and mid-range moves. But another thing that Lunchables and Umbreon did that was really good in their last set was, so at first they started with a more 1v1 centric game because they would try to separate into Roy and Marth, or Roy and Sheik, and they separated into 1v1s. But when they had the Toon Link Sheik team, they played a more team-centric game.
Right.
Trying to keep it closer together. So let's see what they try to do this time.
One thing that I'm noticing, you mentioned that Max is going to be playing more of the support type role.
Yeah,
and that's why we were seeing him playing closer towards the edges rather than taking center. And he was able to actually use that within the first couple seconds of the match to get a really nice gimp on Strongbad and seal a stock very early.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you've got the 2v1 with Umbreon playing the support and you just having Roy in the middle, because Roy's so good at covering center stage, and it's really hard to take that away from him when you've got a Sheik throwing needles at you in the background.
That's right, and with Lunchables in such firm control of center, all you can go to is towards the ledges where Max is just waiting. So really interesting team composition. So far seems like it's working out in their favor, that stage spike after that Blazer is definitely going to be helping out. Frozen, however, getting that nice back air, and that's something that we saw him do plenty of times at IAB.
And the thing about that stock was that Umbreon lost it relatively early, and that's really what cost him the last set against Frozen and Strongbad, is that he really went on tilt because of those early stock losses. So hopefully he doesn't get into his head too much. Oh, he has Kin, but Kin missed. Okay, so Strongbad has the fart, which is definitely could come out of nowhere right now.
It's the X factor, especially since Frozen and Strongbad have been up one stock. I think this could be a really nice move to utilize on Lunchables. He has Lunchables off stage right now. Strongbad going to be going for that ledge grab. Gets the grab right after it. The back throw on stage right is going to be really big, but Lunchables is right there to interrupt and give Max a little bit of cover.
He got him with the noodle. Oh, that was a really nice float cancel forward air. That was super quick. Gets on with the nair. That wasn't super safe, but he spaced it well enough that he didn't get punished for it.
Ooh, that shoulder bash. Definitely big. And I think he does still have the waft on deck, does he not?
He saved the waft because he knew the side B would kill. That's really smart.
Really, really intelligent play. Lunchables at 94%. Definitely, I think, in that death percent if the waft does connect.
Yeah, if he has him able to kill with the waft, okay.
Doesn't even need to.
I guess they don't even. He's not even going to use it.
I mean, how good is Umbreon on that 2v1? Definitely a player with a lot of experience behind his back. But wow, that would have been insane.
Sheik is definitely a character capable of 2v1ing. It's going to be rough because of the caliber of the players here. But it is doable because he could kill... Oh, never mind, the waft.
Ooh, yeah. And the way that he was positioned was perfect because it covered the platform option as well as the ground option. It's just really, really nice.
Positioning in teams is so important. Part of it is just having trust in your teammate, though, which I feel like that just comes with consistent teaming or having a lot of teams experience. But it is definitely something that you got to take into consideration. So, I wonder where they're going to
go. Well, did we see the character swap yet?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We don't know if they're going to character swap yet.
definitely a lot of commotion right now between Max and Lunchables. They're thinking over, what went well in that last game and what didn't go so well. They started off pretty strong.
Yeah.
That Gimp, I thought, gave them a really nice tempo swing in the early game, but at the end, especially with the little bit of, a friendly fire that went down, Blue Team was definitely able to bring it back.
So, I imagine they would want maybe a smaller stage. Or actually, maybe a stage with more open space if they stay the Roy Sheik. But if he switches to Toon Link, I'm not actually sure. We'll find out, though.
Yeah. I mean, when we think back on that last game, what do you think it was that made it so that Frozen and Strongbad were able to come back despite the deficit that they had at the very beginning?
Part of it was the Lunchables killing himself, and it kind of put Umbreon on Lunchables killing Umbreon, which kind of put Umbreon on tilt. And it felt like they had better team synergy. Their team's positioning was just better. It felt like Umbreon and Lunchables were trying to play singles.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you mentioned that whenever they were playing against Luck and Infinity, one thing that helped them a lot was when they were playing a more doubles-oriented game.
Yeah, and Frozen and Strongbad won. But now... Frozen and Strongbad, no, not Frozen, Lunchables and Umbreon have a smaller stage to work with, so they can play a more team-centric game, which works more with the team of Toon Link and Sheik.
No, honestly, I'm a little bit confused, though. I feel like such a small stage with this many players doesn't allow Toon Link to have that projectile game at all. And it kind of stuffs out, to some extent, the needle game as well from Sheik, as far as throwing needles in neutral goes.
In support roles and neutral roles, yes. But they might be going for a more punish-oriented gameplay right now. And they can cover way more space with those projectiles now.
Right.
Because of how small the stage is.
I see where you're coming from. Well, one thing is certain. It feels like a lot of the punish is coming primarily from the blue team, but Lunchable is able to answer back and take that stock from Frozen, making this an even stock game so far. 3 apiece. Lunchable's 111%, and Frozen lands that down
finger point
smash.
of death.
Yeah, push the button.
Just push it. Back throw. So back throw's an interesting throw in teams because it gets people off stage and sets up for better positioning because it travels as you do.
Yes.
That was an odd down tilt. Up B, super good shield pressure right there. Yeah, now they're just separating to 1v1s again. They might have realized that maybe their team-centric strategies aren't working.
One thing that I'm noticing from Umbreon is that it feels like he has a really good presence in regards to when Lunchables needs his help and when he doesn't. Even there, as he was recovering, you notice that he dropped the needles, noticing that Lunchables was in that grab. Just really good, I guess threat assessment more than anything else.
Yeah.
That's allowing him to make some disrupts, which prevent really big punishes. But even still, despite that, the game is, I feel, still in the blue team's favor. That stock is going to be shredded. And another one as well as Strongbad's able to get the 2-piece up air on Lunchables, putting him down to just 1. This is one of the issues. Since Lunchables has traditionally been the aggressor, he's losing his stocks very early. And while Max is an incredible player, I'd say that as far as single-player prowess goes, it's all about Lunchables. And the fact that he's being the aggressor means that the blue team has more opportunities intrinsically to shut him down very early, which really pans out in their favor in the late game.
I would definitely agree with that. So the main problem I'm really seeing right now is that when they're separated into the two 1v1s, they're not really taking the opportunity when they get one of the 1v1 separated to go for those 2v1 combos. They're still just focusing on their individual opponent. Like when one of them's off stage, they'll like try to go for an edge guard instead of racking up as much damage as you can, like they should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too many of those tasty sandwich combos. Lunchables off stage, on stage left. Max on stage right, able to go ahead and get a little bit of a sequence started on Strongbad. Bit of a clank. Maybe an opportunity right now for the green team. Lunchables in firm control of center, but he ends up getting scooped up, tossed away. The finger point of death is going to be colliding right on Max, launching him backwards. And you're noticing that overall, at the end of this, the entirety of this sequence, blue team was in control of that stage. Yep. They just took turns basically throwing one member of the green team off stage and then having those 2v1 opportunities on the remaining member as they would be making it back on stage.
So, I don't know what they want to do now. I don't think that was necessarily a bad game for them.
No, it was a lot closer, I feel, than the first game. You know, it came down to a last stock scenario, but
I like the Toon Link Sheik choice. I don't know. Maybe Green Hill might have been a better stage, but who knows?
So then what's going through the decisions in regards to maybe not picking a stage like FD?
I don't know, actually. I think FD would be a good stage. I feel like flat ground, less platforms is good for them. But
I mean,
it might just be a personal preference. There's some stages that people just don't like for whatever reason.
And I've definitely seen Lunchables use bombs in a way where if he's on a platform, the bomb sets up really nicely for a follow-up.
Yeah.
But still, I think that when you think about the needle as a disrupt tool, the fact that you have so much flat ground really enables the style that Max is going for, which, like you mentioned, is more of a support-oriented role.
Oh, we're going to page 2. No! It's banned!
Really debating where they're going to be going. Have a little bit of a replay here. And
Destruction!
Yeah, like we said right there, really great positioning from Strongbad. That's something that seems to be a really big keynote, actually, when we think about the blue team, is how good their positioning has been. We haven't really been seeing that much friendly fire. They've done a great job of respecting each other's zones overall and capitalizing whenever those 2v1 opportunities happen.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I definitely want a stage with more flat ground. Okay, Yoshi's Island, I like this pick.
Yeah, do tell.
So more flat ground, so like you said, she can provide more of a support role with needles. It's got a big platform, so Lunchables can still combo off that with bombs and a like. And honestly, Lunchables just likes this stage, so having a comfort pick is good. So I didn't really agree with this counter pick.
Yeah. It works out in their favor. They're going to need to get one on the board. Frozen and Strongbad right now on tournament point. Really huge for them, but first blood is going to be in favor of Lunchables. He takes that stock from Frozen while only taking 17% in the process. Frozen right back onto the stage, gets that back throw after that neutral. That was big.
That was insane. Nair into pivot grab. That was super quick. Frozen showing off his technical prowess right now with a character that's not very explored.
Heartbreaker for Umbreon. He was at a high percent, but he was just short of grabbing onto that ledge after that recovery. Right now, a little bit of a 2v1, it seems, temporarily, but Frozen able to get out of harm's way, only to be back in danger courtesy of Strongbad.
Yeah, oh, and Umbreon is on point with these fares, just covering a lot of space with that fast fall forward air, and just, they're not able to get back on stage. He's racking up a lot of damage. See, this is the problem. You've got Frozen in the corner right there, and Umbreon's over there trying to edge guard Strongbad.
Yeah, I mean, the needle almost worked out in his favor, but if Strongbad at that point was too close to the ledge where the stuff wouldn't make it so that he couldn't make it back, that was a beautiful punish. The second that Lunchables saw that Strongbad had committed to that grab, he was already rushing over to go and capitalize with a down smash.
But yeah, I definitely think on a more overarching note that, like, they really need to be focusing more on the team-centric game because they're trying to just outplay them in 1v1s, and it's really still not working. Oh, good back air, though, to interrupt and get more damage off.
If they're going to be doing the one-on-ones, I like this idea more than anything else. With Lunchables focusing in on Frozen and Max focusing more so on Strongbad. I think it's the proper way to go, given how well of a performance Lunchables had against Frozen at IAB.
And I think this character, Toon Link, actually does better against Frozen than his Roya does.
Yes.
And I think Sheik definitely has a good matchup on Wario, because Wario's biggest weakness is his lack of range on his moves, and Sheik has a lot of good mid-range moves, like with F-tilt, down-tilt, and forward air.
That's true, and we saw that Max is really on point whenever it comes to pestering opponents as they're trying to recover, using those needles and those quick edge guard tools so efficiently. It's been really good. This so far counter pick is looking pretty promising for the green team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with this. This counter pick has definitely showed some promise. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, the flat ground, I might be too little too late after this, but definitely some data to take them.
Wow. Huge play from Strongbad. That waft came in just in time. Blue team right back in favor of winning this tournament.
Yeah, that could be the game-changing play of this tournament.
Definitely a big shift. The longer that Strongbad survives, I think, is going to determine the outcome of this match. They're able to go ahead and close out that stock just in time, and they're able to take the stock from Frozen as well. This is the 2v1. This is where we really need to see the magic happen. And I think that at this point, they probably have it in the bag. The only scary factor is Lunchables at 62%, but I feel like the problem with Mewtwo in 2v1s is a lot of his moves are way too committal.
Yeah, for sure.
The moves that have any knockback anyways have a lot of commitment attached to them. He can't really go for grabs because every single one of his grabs requires so much. And right there, out of the jab into the up smash, Green Team finally getting on the board.
And that was, they definitely picked it up that game. But now we have to see the blue team's counter pick, which we haven't really had to worry about until now. But,
I'm thinking probably small clustered stage. I wouldn't be surprised. Neptune with a solid fundamentals apparently in the background.
So you may be a Green Hill?
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw something like Green Hill. I think overall it does like a decent job of shutting down Lunchables. Max does gain the wall cling there, which is one thing. You can maybe add some recovery mix-ups afterwards. But Green Hill, I think, makes some nice sense to me. Even something like Fountain of Dreams wouldn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest. So far, empirically, when it comes to like those smaller clustered stages, we've just haven't been seeing that same level of competency from Max and Lunchables. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So yeah, Fountain or Green Hill.
With that in mind, the cursor over Smashville is really intriguing. It does give Mewtwo additional recovery options, which as well as Wario, which kind of stifles some of Umbreon's, I guess, edge guarding tactics. But
I also think Strong Bad. I'm almost positive Strong Bad's favorite stage is Smashville, which is another thing to consider. I don't know what Frozen's preferences for stages are, but yeah, I mean.
Well, let's run through this and figure out where we are not going to see them. Don't see the run back happening on Yoshi's.
I don't see the run back happening.
I don't see FD because it feels almost too
similar, which is why Smashville seems a little odd.
Yeah, exactly. It has the top platform. Granted, it's a moving platform.
Delfino isn't small, but it provides certain advantages that the other stages don't. FD I feel weird about.
Yeah.
But Mewtwo, definitely a very good character on FD because down tilt covers a lot of stages, and that's his main neutral tool. But I don't know how much I agree with this.
That's true. From a quick projectile standpoint, I feel like the Needle beats out the Shadow Ball. Granted, when the Shadow Ball is fully charged, obviously it's a force to be reckoned with. But when it comes to, I'm just going to spam Shadow Balls, I'm going to spam Needles, I think the Needles kind of come out on top because of how fast they are.
You don't really have a time to charge Shadow Ball.
Exactly.
Especially in doubles.
Oh, yeah. There's far too much chaos. If you're having time to charge the Shadow Ball, then there better be both of the stocks from the opposing team shedded at that moment.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
But anyways, yeah, like we said before, not really liking the counter picking. We can see that the blue team already at a deficit. Frozen's going out, and Lunchables is going huge.
That was so good right there.
Yes.
So Umbreon, one thing they did was Umbreon had Strong Bad the ledge and then dash and wave dash back to try to get Strong Bad to commit, but then he ran over to support Lunchables. So they didn't go for the edge guard in that situation. They actually went for the 2v1. And after Strong Bad threw Lunchables and tried to follow up on him, Umbreon was there with a fair so he can get a combo.
Wow. I think the way that Frozen had landed prevented Strong Bad potentially from having a follow-up. Which is so weird. I think that maybe that's why he didn't like pop the waft immediately, was because he was maybe in fear of attacking his own teammate. But
yeah,
I have to go ahead and rewatch the replay on that one.
That might have been some weird hurt box.
Because you notice that little bit of hesitation that you saw from Strong Bad after he got that throw. Usually he's so quick whenever he gets those follow-ups, but that time he just had to take a second. I mean, it's understandable. Frozen in those triple digits, going to be losing that stock as well. Green team looking so strong in game number 3.
Yeah, no, their
four.
Their synergy has gotten a lot better over this set.
Oh, but that is very unfortunate for Lunchables.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't affect him too much.
Yeah, can't really be seeing him going on tilt. Blue team.
We have the Far on deck right now, which is very important.
And we have Frozen on deck with those back airs. Two quick stocks gone from Lunchables. Really big. Lunchables started off this game so strong, getting those 2 kills immediately, but the fact that the blue team has done such a great job of shutting him down so far is going to mean a lot of problems in the end game, unless Max can stay the stock tank that he currently is.
Wait, now they're playing it more centralized, definitely not even going for the 1v1s anymore. Oh, the raw fart out of nowhere.
Oh, AGT, but a little bit of friendly fire. Max isn't going to be able to make it back, and it's going to be setting up for a nice 2v1.
Oh my
Blue
God.
team able to capitalize. Max and Lunchables are down to 1 stock, but the fair is definitely going to do them some favors. Strong Bad off stage as well, and he's going to be losing that stock as well. Last stock situation right now. Max and Lunchables trying to hang in there. Frozen and Strong Bad, they can taste victory.
The most even game of all time. Okay, Good up tilts. Getting him in the corner. He knocks him towards his teammates so they can play the Team Citrus game anymore after racking up the damage. Good. Maybe not on purpose, but it definitely worked out for them.
Blue team temporarily had control of that center stage area. Frozen able to land that up smash. Doesn't connect with the barrier initially, but is able to finally find the follow-up that he was seeking. Nice snare, and snares both of the green team members. It's Lunchables against the world. He doesn't space the up B correctly. He still, however, has both of the blue team members in opposite sides. The boomerang ends up interrupting the grab. Really big moment for him here. Hoping to go ahead and get this double conversion.
This could definitely go either way right now. Oh, the bomb toss. Knocks himself off the wall with the get-up attack, separating both of them.
That was incredible! The get-up attack that he did initially prevented Strongbat from making it back onto the stage, but he wasn't able to capitalize. He misspaces the down air, ends up eating the charge into the forward air. Frozen and Strongbat coming out on top, taking grand finals at the TLOC 1K.
So sad. He could have just held ledge right there, but good stuff to Frozen and Strongbat. That was definitely a really good set.
That was a hell of a finish, too. Hell of a finish. Wonderful, wonderful play. And really great decision-making overall from Lunchables. He had the right ideas, especially around the ledge. It's just that he was barely out of place when it came to actually landing the attacks. He misspaced the up B, he misspaced the dare, and those were two potential conversions that could have swung that set the other way.
High-level Smash is so crazy.
Oh,
These
yeah.
minor mistakes can cost you entire sets.
It's crazy. He really was pixels away from taking that game.